Hello and welcome to the Satluj Podcast. The 26th of December is a very significant date in the Sikh calendar. It represents the heroic martyrdom of two sons of the 10th Guru Gobind Singh Ji, an event which demonstrated the personal fortitude of every Sikh regardless of age based upon their belief. But it is an event that has now been appropriated by the Indian government in their commemoration known as Veer Bal Diwas, standing as just the latest example of the Indian government's attempts to hijack and thus undermine the true meaning of events such as this, which form one of the many foundational pillars of Sikh history and heritage. Well, to discuss the events of the Shaheeds and how India has now manipulated the narrative to rewrite its own version of this history, I'm joined today by our regular guest, Dr. Singh Grewal MD. Dr. Grewal, welcome. Thank you for joining us once again today.
Good morning, Angus. Waheguru Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ki Fateh. So today what we discussing, we remember as a Saka Sarhand. Sarhand was the city where the younger two sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji was martyred. So today we remember not merely a tragic episode from history, but a moral summit of human courage, the martyrdom of Sahibzada, Zorawar Singh Ji and Sahibzada, Fateh Singh Ji, the two younger sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru of the Sikhs. They were children, one about 9, the other one was 6 or 7 years old. Their sacrifice stands as the greatest acts of conscience ever recorded. Their story is not only Sikh history, it is a lesson in the power of faith, freedom, and moral sovereignty. So, historical background. Guru Gobind Singh Ji has to leave Anandpur Sahib under false assurances. And the Mughals and the Hindu Rajas, they did not honor their word. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, while crossing Sarsa River, many Sikhs died. Family was separated. And the Mughals were very worried. They consider Sikhs and the Guru to be existential threat, not because the Sikhs were fighting for power, because Guru Gobind Singh created a Khalsa, which meant equality of all humans, rejection of the caste, and hereditary privileges, refusal to accept tyranny even under threat of death. The Khalsa challenged the idea that authority flows from birth. Instead, it proclaimed that sovereignty lies with the conscious and divine. This was revolutionary and intolerable to the despotic rulers. So the two sons of Guru Gobind Singh and mother of Guru Gobind Singh, Mata Gujri, were Zorawar Singh and Fateh Singh, were separated. They were like 9 and 7 years old. They were accompanied by a servant of Guru Gobind Singh, whose name is Gangu. We call him Gangu Brahman because he was a Brahman by caste. The people were known by caste then. While he was accompanying the children and their grandmother, he felt that he may be threatened by the Mughal Empire. And also, there is another version that he got greedy because there was a price on the head of anybody from Guru's family to be arrested alive and brought before the governor or Subedar of Sarhand. So he reported that he was with the children. He reported to a ruler in Morinda, which was a part of Suba Sarhand. And the children and the grandmother were arrested and they were taken to Sarhand, and they were put in what is called a Thanda Burj or Cold Burj. It was open. So there was freezing winter. This time of the Punjab is very, very cold. So the two children barely clothed, exposed to winter winds, watching their grandmother suffer, surrounded by hostile guards. So they were prepared and they were taken before the governor of Sarhand, who we also call Subedar Sarhand. So their crime was that they were sons of Guru Gobind Singh and grandson of Guru Tegh Bahadur. So the Wazir Khan, the Subedar of Sarhand, offered them simple solution that they will be let free and they will enjoy life. Condition was that they will have to convert to Islam, accept imperial authority, live in comfort and privileges, and the threat was explicit: refuse and die. So these two young that were prepared by their grandmother before they went to the court. She reminded they were grandson of Guru Tegh Bahadur and sons of Guru Gobind Singh. So her reminder before going to court and their upbringing was very, very impressive. These offers were not symbolic, they were real, immediate, and terrifying. Yet the Sahibzada responded with clarity and beyond their years. They were Sikhs and they were going to be Sikhs. They refused the offer from the Subedar. So they were condemned to death, and the mode of death was to be decided. There are few people in Suchanand. Diwan is like a minister. Suchanand, he was a Hindu, and he played a major role. He told the governor, Subedar, that these are children of snakes, referring to 9th and 10th Guru, and they will only bite back when given a chance, so they should not be spared and they should be killed. So this is the role of a Hindu minister. There was another influential person who was called Nawab of Malerkotla. Guru Gobind Singh was fighting for survival when they were in Chamkaur. This Nawab of Malerkotla, his brother and son were killed in that war or the fight. Still, he told the governor of Sarhand that it is immoral to punish the small children for their father's deeds. And he opposed it strongly, which is remembered in Sikh history. So Malerkotla during 1947 did not suffer any of those tragic killings which happened on both sides of Punjab. So those two people will be remembered always in Sikh history. So the method of execution was chosen that they were bricked alive. So there were wall created around them, and when the wall fell down, they were beheaded and killed. So then their bodies was to be given to somebody for cremation or thrown away. There was another Diwan, Hindu Diwan of that time, but who also was a believer in Guru's teachings. And he said to the governor, please let me cremate those two bodies, and I will pay the fine or whatever you level on me. So he was told the ground he was going to cremate those two bodies, he has to pay thereby gold coins. So he has to lay the golden coins on that whole piece of land, that what was going to be used for the cremation of those two young Sikhs. So he did that, and then when he laid down, they said, no, we meant you have to put the coins standing. So I mean, he needs more coins. But he obliged, and he did that. His name was Todarmal. He is also remembered as a friend of the Sikhs and in Sikh history. Currently, some Sikhs are trying to rehabilitate his Haveli or as a big house in Sarhand as a memory, to his gratitude. Children or the Sahibzadas, their sacrifice is the foundation of Sikhism. So if they, for some reason, didn't sacrifice, which is just for discussion, which would have never happened, the foundation of Sikhism would have been shaken. So we all are the beneficiary, and we build the Sikhism, Sikh rule on their foundation. So we will always remember that. But current Hindu government, they are trying to assimilate Sikhs into Hinduism. First they did in Article 25. Now they're trying to take over our history, and they have started remembering this as a Veer Wal Divas, brave to brave children, which is very insulting. They were not children. Their sacrifice stands against any event in the world history. There is no even comparison. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji found out about the Sikh children, he was in Raikot. You know, the Raikot is the city where I grew up, small town. Our farmhouse, maybe only not half a mile from the Gurdwara, made in the memory of 10th Guru and his visit there. So there is a little plaque there outside, inside the compound, but just outside the main building. It says in Punjabi, somebody asked Guruji, what was he doing? You know, there was small weed he was taking out with his arrow. So somebody asked Guruji, what were you doing? He said, Bhuta Kahida, that's the word written there. Bhuta Kahida put mere sahba ne e farman kita, Mughal Raj di jad aj pai gayi patti, mere lala ne jo balidan kita. So he said, he is taking out the roots of Mughal rule. That's actually what happened. From then onward, Mughal Empire went down in history and eventually died. So the two children, their sacrifice was the beginning of the end of Mughal Empire. So this visit of Guru Gobind Singh and Raikot is celebrated or remembered on January 2nd, when the date he found out what happened to the Sahibzadas. So there's a Nagar Kirtan in whole town, then 2 days of public gatherings, speeches, remembrance. So I have been to one of them when I was in school and living there. So this is fresh in my mind. So now let us go back to besides remembrance, why is important to us. So when these 4 sons of Guru Gobind Singh died or were martyred, 2 died in the war and 2 in Sarhand. He moved on to the further part of Malwa, and when his wife joined him, and they asked where were their children. He said, I sacrifice the 4 for thousands of these. Thousand those Khalsa. So Khalsa are the children of Guru Gobind Singh. So Khalsa has not forgotten that. Sorry, a little emotional. Today, let's bring it to today, what's happening. Bhai Hardeep Singh Nijjar was another child of Guru Gobind Singh, murdered by ruler of India. Ruler of India has changed by name, but their nature has not changed. They remain anti-Sikh. So I learned Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb who's responsible for killing ninth Guru, then the four children of Guru Gobind Singh and thousands of other Sikhs, was born in Gujarat. Gujarat was part of Mughal Empire. This same Gujarat now has the same city where Aurangzeb was born, called Daud. So I don't know what have we done, what have the Sikhs done to Gujarat. Now we have another Aurangzeb named Modi come from Gujarat and killing the Sikhs, not only in Punjab, not only in India, but outside, transnational oppression. Surrey, Canada, England, London, and Lahore, the children of Guru Gobind Singh are still being killed. However, these Hindu rulers do not remember. They do not remember that the sacrifice of Sahibzadas was the cause of destruction of Mughal Empire. And now the same sacrifice Khalsa is doing will be the cause of destruction of this Hindu empire. The two sons, the younger sons, they did not die because they didn't want to accept Islam. They would have done the same thing now if they tried to tell them to become Hindus. So sometimes the narrative is changed. Is Sikh versus Islam? No, it was accepting somebody else's religion by force, which they defied. So Sikhs will defy it today, they defy them. No amount of oppression, no amount of killing will ever force Sikhs to give up their religion. This is what I think we need to remember. Hopefully, these Hindu rulers of India will remember that. But they somehow think by changing the history, by changing the narrative, they will be able to change the outcome. You know, as another important thing in this whole Saka Sarhand, they were a Sufi sect of Islam. Generally, they are considered a very soft version of Islam, poetic and very accommodating to others. But these Sufi people in Sarhand were very influential, very strict, and not like the other Sufi saints. Their influence extended beyond India or the Hindustan. So they were mainly responsible for the killing of fifth Guru. They are called Naqshbandis. Their person at that time also called himself Mujahid. Mujahid was very much responsible in the execution of fifth Guru. Then his son was also responsible, partly responsible, or contributed to the martyrdom of ninth Guru and the children of Guru Gobind Singh. So let's review this scenario. There is a version of Islam, and there is a ruler in Delhi, Aurangzeb, and there is a conniving part of Hindus like Suchanand, who is responsible for this Saka Sarhand. But the same thing is repeating now. It's just different situation, but very much same situation. So Naqshbandi now moved to Nagpur. That's a Hindu version of Naqshbandi. They want everybody to be Hindus, RSS. And the new ruler comes from Gujarat. His name is Modi. And who is being killed or murdered? Sikhs in Canada, England, Lahore, and even the current Punjab. So we need to get the message. We need to remember the message from the sacrifice of two young Sahibzadas that we don't give up. We will not convert to any religion. Doesn't matter who is in power. We will not be accepting Islam by force, and we will not be accepting Hinduism by force. This is the message to be remembered. No sacrifice is little to fight against your principles. Sikhs will give up their lives as many as needed. This is the message from Guru Gobind Singh, Guru Nanak, and the rest of the Gurus. This is the message from Guru Granth Sahib. So we will stand for sovereignty, fight the oppression, and we're not afraid to sacrifice. This is the message we learn from Saka Sarhand.
Thank you, Dr. Grewal. That was a very interesting presentation. I'd like to, if I may, just ask you one part of that to pick up on it, which I think is a very important part of this whole story and the lessons that we're learning from the story. Is we obviously know the current attacks on the Sikh community globally, not just in India, but globally through the transnational repression. It takes many forms, and much of that is physical force, violence, what have you. But also, as I referred to in the introduction, there is one very subtle and I would say equally dangerous element to this, and this is how India has reframed this story of the two young shaheeds, the two children of the 10th Guru. And the way they have reframed it, they're presenting it to the Indian public as this heroic story of these two youngsters. But the way they reframed it is very dangerous because and please correct me if I'm wrong here, my understanding is that the Indian government are reframing it as the courage of youth. That is, these youngsters who showed so much courage. But in fact, the real foundation of this story, the real power in this story, is the fact it wasn't the courage of their youth, it was the courage of their belief, of their Sikh faith. That is the real lesson in here. And India have very deliberately removed the story from that as a very basic but dangerous tactic to once again undermine the Sikh faith, the heritage of the Sikh community, the strength of the Sikh community, which is in itself born within the Sikh belief, the strength of belief in the Sikh faith. Do you think that is the right interpretation? And do you think this is the way that India is attacking, not just violently, but subtly, insidiously, very dangerously, subliminally is the word I would use. They are very subliminally trying to undermine and destroy Sikh heritage by just completely redesigning the narrative of great stories like this.
You're right, Angus. This is their attempt. They are not only killing with weapons, they are killing with whatever is at their disposal. They have tools to change our history, rewrite history, occupy SGPC, take control of universities, so they can change the history. But the history is very important. History will be remembered. Now there's a social media. They are going to have a hard time changing it. So they want to, as you mentioned, they are saying those two brave children sacrifice. But they are trying to delete or omit. Why did they sacrifice? They sacrifice for their belief. They refuse to accept Islam. Today, the same two children or any such child of Guru Gobind Singh will do the same. We will not convert to Hinduism. If we have to sacrifice, we will. I'm not saying for myself. Hundreds and thousands of Sikhs, crores of Sikhs, believe the same way. There's no shortage of Sikhs who do not believe in this message. Sikhs will not convert to another religion under oppression. We will fight for our belief. No sacrifice is less to save your belief. So they will not be able to change. Yes, they are trying, but they also have been trying for centuries. They have tried against the 10th Gurus. The story of Brahman is you want to control life of the people from birth to death. But Gurus defied that, and they have considered Sikhism to be their number one enemy. So Sikhs are fighting against caste, Sikhs are fighting for equality, Sikhs are fighting for sovereignty. Sikhs is a nation. Sikh nationalism will only progress and grow with oppression. Sikhs used to say when the another Subedar of Sirhind used to kill the Sikhs, they were price on the head of the Sikhs, 70 or 80 rupees if somebody bring the head of the Sikhs. Sikhs used to say, Manu sadi datri, asi manu de soe, jion sanu vadda, asi dhoon swane hoye. So soy is a plant, if you cut it, it grows back. So they use the analogy, yes, you can cut us, we will grow back. So this is the true today. They will not be able to finish Sikhs or Sikhism. Yes, they will try. It will be a very important fight, and the fight will continue. So if we have a couple of minutes, I like to go on. Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, please do.
So we will have to discuss this some other time in detail, but I am afraid that my people are not understanding. India and Israel are cooperating, conniving, working together because Israelis think Islam or Muslim countries are their enemies, and India considers the same. So remember the story we talked about Jeffrey Epstein, who was trying to connect the power structures in America and Washington, New York, with Hindutva and Mossad. So the Israelis have a great fear that Islamic country, if they have a nuclear bomb, it may be used against them. They don't want any Islamic country to have a bomb. So they have destroyed any nuclear facility in several places in Syria, Iran, and so on. But Pakistan still has nuclear weapons. During President Clinton's time, there were Israelis seen as Kashmir, and story is that they were planning to attack Pakistan's nuclear facility. President Clinton was able to use his influence and avoid that destructive war. Now Israelis are coming to the same. So the story this morning in Tribune, which is an English newspaper from Chandigarh, and the only one in Punjab which people read with some credibility. I'm not saying they are the best. So the story is the Punjab government is signing some agreement with Israel on the agriculture issues. Punjab government can learn agriculture issues from California. The Israelis learned from California what they did there. So this is their way of getting close to Pakistan border. And this Chief Minister of Punjab is very naive. He does not know administration. Economy is bad. In frustration, he is willing to do anything who will bring money there and spend it so that they can fight the next election. This is a very tragic event. This is agreement they're signing, because to me, it looks like the Israelis will not hesitate to attack Pakistan's nuclear facility. That will be a catastrophic event in the history of India, Pakistan, and Punjab will be the major sufferer of that on both sides. And my request to people in Punjab, whosoever is listening, that my message can go through. Please do not appease to Indian government, accept anything from Israel, because Israelis template is used by India to kill Sikhs, what we call transnational oppression. These events are taking bad turns. We will pay a heavy price. Nuclear war is going to be killing everybody. It's not going to be killing Sikh, Muslim, or Hindu. It's going to kill everybody. We don't need Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Punjab on either side. So I am very upset. I see the writing on the wall, and I hope people will pay attention and not bow to any pressure from Indian government or look for Israeli money. Punjab will survive. Punjab agriculture survived before even Israel was born. It will always survive. We need to pay attention to the events, what's happening today.
That actually would bring up an interesting scenario, of course, if Israel succeeded in destroying Pakistan's nuclear capability, that then destabilises the current balance between India and Pakistan, both of which are equally nuclear powered. If you disarm one nation, if you disarm Pakistan, it means India then has the stronger upper hand, and ultimately that could lead to India thinking, well, we may as well invade Pakistan because they can't fight back nuclear. We have the upper hand. So it does totally change the dynamic in that region. Would you agree?
Yeah, the nuclear weapons on both sides are not in one place. So they destroy one, the other one will be spared. Now, what they have, they call strategic nuclear weapons, which can target on different cities on both sides. So it doesn't matter who starts. It'd be catastrophic on both sides. It'd be bad for humanity. What they call the story of Mahabharata, where was the greatest war, which took centuries for people to rehabilitate. This will be hundreds and thousands times more. People of India need to understand. People of Punjab need to understand. People of Pakistan need to understand. I think Pakistan is a defensive, but India now is aggressive. This RSS want to kill all the Muslims or send them out of India. They're trying their best. And somehow they are using Punjab, they're using the Sikhs. They have put their weapons in Punjab, even though Punjab doesn't want to fight. So because those weapons are there, the Pakistan may be forced to eliminate them, but they'll be catastrophic for us. So I am very concerned, and I hope it never happened. I hope I am wrong, but I can see this writing on the wall. Israel, the main aim is mischief, their mischief. Look what they did in Gaza. We don't want Punjab on both sides to become Gaza.
Indeed, a very powerful warning. But there we must leave it. But we will be talking again with Dr. Grewal soon to continue our discussions. Dr. Grewal, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Angus. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
And thank you for watching the Satluj TV podcast. We will see you next time.